Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Niranjan, and today I will be discussing the CSR at Seng Bank. First, we will go through the company overview, followed by corporate governance, and then risk management analysis, their CSR activities, and finally, their ethics policies, and a wrap up of the presentation. Seng has a long history of over 80 years. Seng was founded by Seng Nang Ho in 1933 as a small money exchange shop. In 1960, Seng became a public listed company. Fast forward a few years, and by the year 2019, Seng has been ranked the number one strongest bank by balance sheet in Asia Pacific. Seng's mission is to be a profitable and growing business by exceeding the expectations of their stakeholders through service excellence based on core values that include integrity, innovation, and financial strength. An interesting thing to note is the fact that Seng in Chinese means ever growing, which is very in line with their mission statement. Seng works in three major business sectors: retail banking and management, commercial banking, and global banking markets. Seng promises to abide by the four business values: courageous integrity, leadership and innovation, financial strength, and finally, transparency and clear communication. Let us move on to their corporate governance. To streamline their corporate governance, Seng has created the Seng Sustainability Matrix. The core is made up of the four pillars that Seng must closely control to achieve sustainability. The four pillars: corporate governance and business, people, environment, and community investment, are engulfed by the stakeholders and economy and society, which are the external factors. Seng's corporate structure consists of five committees: Executive Committee, Audit Committee, Remuneration Committee, and Nomination Committee, and the Risk Committee. Moving on to the risk management analysis at Seng. Seng, being a bank, is risk averse by nature. However, they have a strong risk culture. Seng risk management starts from identifying the threats that it faces, after which the value of each risk the threat brings is evaluated. The next step is to manage that risk. These three steps are repeated and checked regularly. Seng strives to reinforce this attitude towards risk in their employees. Seng, like many other organizations, uses the three-line of defense model to combat risk in their organization. The first line of defense are the management controls and internal control measures. The second line of defense are the financial control, quality, inspection, and compliance. Finally, the third line of defense is an internal audit. Seng has a strong compliance department to ensure that all employees within the company follow the employee code of conduct and manage any violations of that code with reference to the seriousness of that violation. Seng believes that the key to avoid violations is staff awareness. They maintain a high level of staff awareness through training. All employees must complete an anti-bribery and corruption e-learning program. Staff are also provided with regular updates and other information on compliance issues through their internal morning broadcasts. Seng takes insider trading and conflict of interest very seriously and has procedures in place to prevent the misuse of insider information. An important thing to note is that Seng has a whistleblowing policy that encourages employees to come forward with any business irregularities. Seng has a very robust and secure data privacy governance. Seng has developed several privacy principles to guide staff in protecting customer information. Let us look at an overview of Seng's CSR activities. Seng follows their sustainability matrix very closely when designing the CSR activities. Seng's CSR activities for the environment pillar are as follows. The promoting green message to stakeholders, monitoring and controlling greenhouse gas emissions, and 28 million e-statement and e-advices were generated in 2017 to save trees. And this number is only growing. They have started the Seng Yunnan Biogas Program and the Carbon Disclosure Project. And finally, they have various training programs for employees and staff to be aware of environmental laws. These are Seng's CSR activities for the people pillar. Employees are encouraged to take 2 days of the year for volunteering for worthy causes. Senior executives are encouraged to take up roles and positions at charitable organizations. Seng has also started a program for eco-tours with young ethnic minority. Cumulatively, since 2003, Seng staff has contributed over 90,000 hours to voluntary service. As for Seng Community Investment Pillar, Seng is deeply involved in youth development programs, such as the Seng Table Tennis Academy, Seng Call for Young Talent in Theater, and finally, Seng Young Youth Mediation Scheme. Now, let us evaluate the effectiveness of Seng's CSR. According to CSR Hub, Seng scores an 86 out of 100 on the CSR ESG ranking. However, on an absolute scale, Seng scores a 54 out of 100 overall CSR rating. Seng has a clear and defined corporate structure and uses the 3-line of defense model, which is adopted by organizations and governments around the world to tackle risk. Seng has successfully implemented the Seng Sustainability Matrix and has strong community investment in Hong Kong. However, the code of conduct of staff is not public information, and the whistleblowing mechanism is not clearly defined and also not public information. The code of ethics for employees is not an officially written document, and there is no committee that directly deals with ethical issues if they arise. Now let us look at a brief outlook of Seng's ethical policies. Seng has broken the code of conduct for suppliers into 3 main sections: economic, environmental, and social. Suppliers shall comply with the Code of Business Standards and have policies in place to stop fraud and money laundering. Suppliers should comply with the environmental laws and minimize the use of hazardous materials. Suppliers shall in no way, shape, or form use slavery or forced labor, and the wages must meet legal standards. Suppliers must support fair trade and operate in an ethical manner, and comply with health and safety standards for their employees. Let us finally move on to the recommendations for Seng to improve their CSR. I have generated 4 main recommendations for Seng to consider. Firstly, Seng should make the Code of Conduct of Employees public information, along with the whistleblowing mechanism. Secondly, would be to form an ethics committee to oversee all ethics at Seng. Finally, I would recommend Seng to increase the number of days per year employees are encouraged to volunteer for charitable causes, from 2 to possibly a week. Thank you for listening. This is the end of my presentation, and these are my references.